Secret powers were revealed to me the day I held aloft my magic sword and said, "By the power of Grayskull, I subscribe to Spurs in Focus."
From outer space to San Antonio. Splash! Go Spurs, go! And that is nothing but net.
Welcome to a live episode of Spurs in Focus right here on YouTube, iTunes, Pocket Cast, Amazon Podcasts. The list goes on and on. Go subscribe right now. And also forget about the Substack, Spurs in Focus Substack, completely free. Google it, sign up, and you are in. I am your host, Jeff Garcia. You see the gentleman right next to me. He is back, everybody. We missed him for a couple days, but Rudy Campos, the sports answer, he is back. Yes. Walked away with some cash in his pocket after a bowling tournament. For all of you. Rudy, but thank you for joining us. Unfortunately, no good news though. The Spurs did not win game 2 of the Western Conference Finals. They lost to the Thunder 122-113. There's so many storylines in this game. Why they lose? Could it be up to the turnovers? Was it losing Harper? Yes, they lost Harper in the game. More on that later. So many things went wrong for the Spurs, but yet they nearly won. We're going to discuss that. We're going to play the game with Rudy, the standout stats, standout player, and the turning point of the game. And then we'll get to you guys, Spurs in Focus fans. Leave a comment. Rudy's monitoring it right now. He'll pick some out later on in the show, and we'll react to it. So much more, Rudy. Look, it was, it's a series that you expect to have swings. It's a series you expect when you have two heavyweight championship title contending teams in the ring, throwing haymakers at each other. The Thunder threw the biggest haymakers in game 2. Your general reaction?
Expected. I mean, Spurs came out strong, and it was a great game 1. Something that we didn't cover, obviously, that game, but great game 1, great game won by the Spurs in game 1. So kind of expected, a little bit more down to earth. Didn't have a whole lot of confidence in Wemby playing this game. You can understand after playing 40 plus minutes in that last game, doing it all. I mean, you knew the Thunder were going to come out, and actually they threw a really big punch to San Antonio.
They did. And
if you notice that a lot of times when the Thunder's lost game 1, especially last year, they came back and were beating teams by like 30, 26 points or whatever. They only beat the Spurs by 9. I mean, it doesn't sound like, it's like, oh, it's still a loss, but 9-point loss to Thunder, it has its benefits, man. It shows that you can still compete, especially with 2 of your 3 trio of guards out for the game. De'Aaron Fox beginning, Dylan Harper, in the middle of the game.
Yeah.
So they played terrible. I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The Spurs played terrible.
Brilliant.
One person in particular really played bad tonight, and it's kind of happened a lot through his career throughout the season. We'll get into that in a little bit here. But I'm kind of waiting and I'm monitoring on X, Jeff, because I'm trying to see if we're going to get the same fans that call for Fox to be traded for another Sherman player to be traded, because if it's all quiet, then I think people need to shut up about De'Aaron Fox when he has a bad game.
Yeah. Again, we're going to give our takeaways in just a few minutes. We're just giving our overall thoughts of the loss. Yes, loss. Series now tied 1-1. But good news is going back to San Antonio. Good news, they did Spurs steal home court advantage, so there's that. And the more good news is that the Spurs have never lost back-to-back in the playoffs. So that's something to
I only got a short sample of it.
Short sample, but I'll take it at this point. Look, my thought was this. They looked tired. They looked a step behind.
Mm-hmm.
Not crisp, not focused, not consistent. Don't believe me? Ask Wembanyama. Post-game, he did say that his thought on the game was the team was not consistent and that he took blame himself. He said, I wasn't consistent at too. And what highlighted it for me was, I don't even remember this, towards the end of the game was still within reach, and Caruso just waltzed into the lane with Wemby there, and Wemby just looking at him like, go ahead and go, and hit a layup. That told me enough right there that this team was gassed. Mitch Johnson said pregame that on the menu heading into the game 2 was nothing but a rest. That's all he wanted the team to do. In fact, they did their pregame media and they went right back to bed, basically. That's how much they wanted to rest. Rudy, I really believe that double overtime short turnaround on the road impacted the Spurs. And let's talk about the big elephant in the room. Although he did put Isaiah Hartenstein on a poster and it was a vicious dunk. But Castle, man, Castle is not just him, it was collectively, but when you are the playmaker, when you are the last playmaker they got because of Harper and Fox out, you got to watch that ball. Rudy, he had 9 turnovers, and these turnovers came at the worst time. An over and back call when the game was still within reach.
Threw the ball away at the very end.
A bad pass that sailed out of bounds. It was to the point, Rudy, where I was on my couch and I just slumped in my couch and I just laid down. Like, that's it. That was game. That's it. That right there.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned.
Can we go as far to say like this loss was on him?
It's a collective loss. I mean, it is a collective loss. Before I get into that, I want to say that the team played more, was it complacent? I guess they got one game. They wanted to get just one game. If you felt like they were going to sweep the Oklahoma City Thunder,
Yeah, think again.
then I got, oceanfront property in Arizona for you, because there's no way they were going to sweep the Thunder. Their job was to go in and get at least one game out of OKC. And I'm on the record as saying if they were to have lost game 1, De'Aaron Fox would have played tonight. There was no doubt in my mind he would have played tonight.
Yeah.
So they got the job done on that sense. And to say that it was on Stephon Castle, I will say that, yeah, a good amount of this is going to be on his shoulders, and I'm sure he's aware of it and he knows it. But 9 turnovers, man, this is the reason why I get so pissed off when people are saying trade De'Aaron Fox, because this is the reason why you keep a Fox next to a Gillen Harper, so you don't have the ball in Stephon's hands playing point guard. He can run the point at times, Jeff, but he gets a little careless, as we've seen throughout the season and throughout his career. Those turnover totals can be high at times when he tries to play point guard. So he's better as an off guard. I love that, he posterized whoever. That was a Hartenstein that he posterized. Finished with 25 points. Most of the team did have a good game overall, but
He did.
you got to remember those turnovers, and those turnovers were at key points of the game. A lot of them in the fourth quarter, man. So yeah, you can't really put the blame on him. I think a lot of it was just like you mentioned, Spurs came out, they were flat a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of just were going through the motions. So you don't want to do that against OKC, but at the same time, you just wanted to get one in OKC. Mission accomplished. Now it's tied series. You have home court advantage.
Yeah.
Take advantage of the home court you got. But yeah, I mean, can I say probably on a scale of 1 to 10, I would probably say that those turnovers and the way Castle played, probably about 7, 8.
It was just the timing of them were just the worst possible times. That's it.
Yeah.
Because the game was still within reach with just about 4 minutes left in the game. It was still there.
Yeah.
They had to play smart. They had to play clean. They had to play with a high basketball IQ. And unfortunately, they did not. But I look at game 2 and I look at the other side of the court. SGA had a signature game. He didn't have a signature game in game 1. He did in game 2. You got contributions from their role players. McCain, timely threes. Wallace, timely threes. Caruso just being havoc out there. Hartenstein. By the way, I guess it's okay to play UFC style of fighting as defense if you're Isaiah Hartenstein on Wemby, right? Because apparently you can armbar Wemby like in the UFC, right? And the refs don't call it. That pissed me off the most. He should have fouled out in the first freaking quarter. How many times did the NBC replay show Hartenstein grappling Wemby and bending him back, grappling Wemby and bending him back over and over again, and it didn't get called? They let him get away with murder practically on offending Wemby. So that was one of my biggest gripes. Second of all, I look at OKC and they might feel confident, say, okay, we beat this Spurs team without Jane Williams. He went out for the game and didn't play the entire, practically 3 quarters. He went out in the second quarter. That hamstring issue came up. But they flexed their depth. Their bench outscored the Spurs bench for the game. So you need to have more production on that round. But Rudy, if you're the Thunder, first of all, you're wiping your forehead like, whew, we needed that win. But at the same time, you got to know that now you go into the Spurs gym, you may be down Jay Will. This Thunder team may still be up against the wall, right?
Absolutely, man. I mean, there's a positive in this. You lose Jay Will, you end up getting a victory. Spurs lose Dylan Harper, but look at Harper and Fox. If you have both of those guys in, chances are that the Thunder don't win game 2. They're in pretty big trouble. Chances are if one of those guys plays the entire game, then you're probably looking at, OKC down 0-2 in this series. So I think the Thunder are glad that they got a win, and Thunder fans are not going to admit it. They're going to say, "Oh, we weren't worried, yada yada yada." No,
Yeah.
it is worrisome because the Thunder, as hot as they were tonight, like I said, they threw probably their best punch in this series so far in these 2 games, and the Spurs were able to make a comeback throughout the game, especially cutting it down to 2 points there at the end. Then the turnovers happened. They hit a couple of threes, and it just went their way. That's all it went. The ball bounced their way. The Thunder got the victory. But again, without Jay Will, it's going to be just that much tougher for Oklahoma City to get another victory, I feel, because you're going to expect Fox to be back for game 3. Don't know the situation of Harper, but just getting one of those guys back, it'll bring those turnovers down from Stephon Castle, and he can concentrate more on scoring the ball rather than attempting to be a playmaker, attempting to get the team involved.
Yeah.
That is the thing that we've got to keep in mind, is that these are true point guards. Stephon Castle's never been a true point guard. So, yeah, it hurt. But, I mean, for Spurs fans, the silver lining, the light at the end of the tunnel is this. They only lost by 9. And at that, they were close the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
If you take away 3 turnovers, I mean, you're probably losing by 2, possibly with a win on the game. But you're right. I mean, they came up. They were just a little flat. They looked a little tired. I didn't expect them to run out of the gym anymore like they did in game 1. I didn't expect nothing like that. Overall, I mean, it's just a team loss. And you know what? I had Spurs in 6, man. I mean, they're going to have to lose 2 games somewhere in here, and this is one of them.
Here's Rudy. Rudy flexing his muscle again about his predictions. You know what, Rudy, though?
What's up?
He's perfect in his predictions, everybody. I look at this loss for the Spurs, and it stung. Yes, it did. But you're right. There's still a lot of games left. Going back home, great. But this series, there's no lag between games. It's every other day. Even if now it's going to go to game 5. So even if it goes beyond game 5, it's every other day. Are we facing the biggest war? And that is a war of attrition right now.
Yeah, but I mean, it's both teams, Jeff. It's not just one. It's both teams. You saw, like I said, Jay Williams. There was another player. I can't remember who it was that went down at the end of the game too. Same thing. AJ Mitchell. So, I mean, you're seeing both teams having the effects of it. And it's going to be which team, gets the best nutrition, gets the best rest. And I didn't like the fact that Wemby played 37 minutes tonight. I understand why he did. But again, 37 minutes coming off of 40-plus minutes that first game. I know you want to try to get wins, but maybe this is that one game where you're Mitch Johnson, you're thinking, okay, we'll play you right around that 30-minute, maybe 29-minute mark. We'll give Cornette some run. We'll give, Olenek, somebody else some run, just to kind of give them a little bit more rest, because you only get a day off in between games. So it's not so much load management that you're doing. It's just, you're getting prepared for at least game 3, because I think game 3 is going to be that one where we kind of have that same game 1 reaction. It's going to go back and forth. It's going to maybe be even another overtime. Both teams are going to come out punching. Who's going to come out on top? That's when you need your big guns out on the court. But yeah, nutrition is big time, dude. I mean, I'm going to go out on the limb, and I'm saying that Williams is probably going to be out for game 3, maybe game 4, because he re-aggravated it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering, I did not see the Harper play, so I don't know how bad it was, but I want to say chances of him being out game 3 are pretty high if he was out the entire game for this one. So
but the good news is that Fox will likely be returned.
I fully expect Fox to be back. There's no doubt about that.
Me too. And again, a chance for the Spurs to pounce on that. Look, you don't want injuries, but if they're not going to have Jay Will on there, I mean, that's another playmaker scorer that they lost. So Yeah, I got to take advantage of that. I look at this game, Rudy, and I wonder if you're the Spurs, how much confidence do you have going into game 3? I like that you brought up about the amount of points they lost by. It was still single digits.
Mhm.
I like how we mentioned that the Spurs were still in the fight to the bitter end.
Yeah.
If you're the Spurs, I'm thinking like we were still in it and we were not playing our best game. I bring this up because this reminds me of game 1 versus Minnesota, where Minnesota squeaked by.
Yeah.
And here we are with the Thunder. They got by. And the Spurs are not their A game. So all in all, I feel confident the Spurs still should have a good, firm belief, confidence that they can escape this series and go to NBA Finals. Rudy, I got to look at some of the numbers here. One thing that stands out to me, and I'll give you my takeaways in just a bit. By the way, in case you're wondering, Shai Gilgeous, 30 points, 4 rebounds, 9 assists, made all his free throws, plus 14 for the Thunder. So, yeah, he had a signature Shai Gilgeous game. But when I look at this, is that you see the little stats that pop up that show maybe the Spurs are a little gassed. The Thunder clearly won the assist battle, 34-22.
Mhm.
All right. Turnovers, Spurs 21 turnovers. More on that later. To the Thunder's 10. So again, playing cleaner ball right there. And then I also look at this too. Time leading. The Thunder maintained their lead longer than the Spurs did. The Spurs held the lead for 6 minutes and 45 seconds, while the Thunder led for nearly the entire game. It was nearly in the wire, 38 and 15 seconds. So I'm going to chalk this loss up to just wear and tear, double OT, the quick turnaround from game 1 to game 2. Am I being too overly confident about this loss? Are you worried that the Thunder now have their confidence high and going into game 3?
Absolutely not, man. I'm not worried about it at all. This is, I mean, again, Shai Gilgeous, I look at some of the positives. He only shot 6 free throws. As much of a free throw merchant as he is, he only shot 6 free throws. The Spurs are doing good. And if you think about it, Jeff, they're not playing bad defense. They're playing tremendous defense on OKC. It's just when you give OKC timely second chance opportunities, eventually they're going to knock down another 3. Eventually they're going to get, but this way, if you give up an offensive rebound and Jay Will or whoever hits a 3, that's a 5-point turnaround. So, I mean, that's the thing, is that they've got to get back on the boards. It seemed like the Spurs weren't crashing the boards tonight, even though I think they ended up winning the rebounding battle, if I'm not mistaken. They did. They only lost the offensive rebounding battle by 1. It just seemed like it was more because they had timely offensive rebounds for OKC. But it's also the turnovers, man. I mean, when you get doubled up on the turnovers, you're gonna lose a game. There's very rare moments in any NBA game where if you're doubled up on turnovers and you come out with the win, that's because the other team just laid an egg and was not shooting very well, just couldn't score. When you get that kind of turnover, percentage, you're gonna lose, especially this team like OKC, man. But again, bunch of turnovers, offensive rebounding, this didn't crash the boards, and you only lost by 9. I have zero confidence that OKC feels like, oh, hey, you know what? We're back. We're not worried about it no more. Hell no. They should be worried about it, because when San Antonio commits that many turnovers and you only win by 9, that's pretty concerning. That's pretty concerning right there.
Yes. Yeah, it is. Rudy, before we take a quick break, let me show you my takeaways from game 2 and put them on the screen here for everybody. We talked about it. It's huge. 21 turnovers for the game. Castle with 9. That has to clean up. That is unacceptable. You cannot have 21 team turnovers and one of your bigger star players cough the ball up 9 times. Not good. By the way, Mitch Johnson did say that the team has addressed Steph Castle about his tendency to turn the ball over so much, because they're working with him. So there's that. Victor Wembanyama said collectively the team turned the ball over way too much. So it's on the back of their heads. So there's that. Second takeaway. 17 OKC offensive rebounds. Hartenstein with 8. He was out muscling Wemby for those offensive rebounds. He was getting those second chance opportunities, just him alone. But 17 Offensive rebounds for OKC, unacceptable. Second chance opportunities right there for the Thunder. They took advantage of that. Can we talk about points off turnover? OKC, 27 points off the Spurs, 21 turnovers. By the way, they had 28 points off turnovers in game one. They are thriving on this. This is why OKC was in it and forcing double overtime in game one. This is why the Thunder won. A big part, I should say, won game two. I'm going to leave this on your screen a little longer, everybody. Rudy, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, number one, it's got to be circled. It's got to be highlighted. It's got to be posted on the bulletin board, man. 21 turnovers, like I said, to OKC's 10 turnovers. I mean, Steph Castle had almost as many turnovers by himself as OKC did as a team. That's not going to get you wins, especially in the playoffs, man. In the conference finals, it's not going to get you wins at all. So that was going to be the big one that I liked. I understand you put the offensive rebounds, the Hardenstein with 8. Yeah, I mean, the Spurs didn't really lose the offensive rebounding battle by much. It was 16-17 OKC, but it was the time of those offensive rebounds. A lot of them came in critical moments. And what it was when the Spurs were trying to get back in the game, cutting it down to 2, cutting it down to 4. Then OKC would miss a shot. McCain would miss a 3, offensive rebound, Hardenstein, offensive rebound, somebody. Get back out, hit a 3-point shot. Boom, there goes the lead again. So it was the timing of it. And the points off turnovers, man. Something that you and I talked about when we did our preview for OKC and San Antonio, they had to keep two things controlled. They had to keep OKC off the fast break points, especially off of turnovers. And that's something that San Antonio has struggled with. OKC is scoring a bunch of points off of turnovers. San Antonio was able to maintain that whole statistical category against Portland and Minnesota. OKC is not that team. Those teams, they are way better than those two teams. I really like those three, man.
If I can add a fourth in there, bench production. The Thunder 41 bench points to the Spurs 25. So another big reason why the Thunder got the W. Hey, we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we're going to get Rudy's takeaways. We're going to get to your comments, turning point, all that good stuff coming up next right here on Spurs in Focus with the best bowler in the world, apparently. That's Rudy Campos.
No,
that's what I heard. That's what the streets are saying. All right, we'll be back. We'll be back, everybody.
As the new leader of the Decepticons, I command you to subscribe to Spurs in Focus.
They needed Mumra to clean up those offensive rebounds for the Spurs. That's what they needed. We're back, everybody, after a quick break. Mr. Rudy Campos, the Sports Answer. He's on X at the Sports Answer. I'm on X at Jeff G Spurs Zone. We're talking Spurs Thunder Game 2. Spurs on the losing end. Yeah, it didn't happen for the Spurs. They lost. Series tied. 1 game apiece. 122-113 is their final score. All right, so before the break, I gave you my takeaways. Rudy, what are yours?
Yeah, so one takeaway, and I'm looking at some positive things here. Of course, we got to the negatives. One takeaway is that I like that the Spurs are keeping OKC pretty low on 3-point percentage. They're only knocking down, I think they knocked down 36% tonight. Spurs were able to shoot about 40% from 3-point range tonight. They are closing out. OKC is not really shooting the ball from 3-point range very well, considering they're getting 36, 35 attempts, especially this last game. They are protecting the perimeter, which is really, really good. And that's something that you want to see San Antonio to continue to do. Play better offense or better defense on the perimeter. Make it tough for these shooters. Close out on these shooters. It's really, really working for San Antonio. It's just when they miss those threes, you've got to rebound the ball. There's got to be a collective group rebounding that ball. That's one of them for me as well. Also, it's the assists, man. It seems like they get really settled into 1v1, and OKC passed the ball a ton tonight, making that extra pass, out assisting the San Antonio Spurs 34-22, I believe. But that's what it is. The Spurs are a very tough team when they're able to move the ball around. I know Steph Castle, he kind of dribbled the ball a little bit too much sometimes tonight, and that's fine. He's playing point guard. He's trying to get everybody in their spot. So those two things there. And I want to give one more, Jeff, my takeaway here. And this goes for OKC. It goes for San Antonio. It goes for the entire NBA. And it's coming down to this, man. I understand that the regular season is a regular season. I understand now it's cool, to get on the court and flop around like you're a fish out of water. But when you're in the NBA playoffs, especially the Western Conference Finals, You guys are getting paid millions upon millions upon millions of dollars to play an NBA game.
Mhm.
And majority of the time, we see you guys, when you get pushed by a finger, you're already at half court doing tumbles all the way down. It's
Rudy
getting
fouled me right
tiring.
now. Rudy fouled me right now.
It's getting tiring. It's getting old. If you're a man, stay on your 2 feet, play defense.
coming out
The
the
ref will
manhood, Rudy.
call the foul if there's a foul. You don't need to sell it at all. This is starting to become like WWE, where something crazy is happening every night, man. I'm tired of the flopping on every player's side. I'm tired of all this stuff. They've got to start playing basketball, man. Play basketball. Leave it on the court. If you lose, you lose. If you don't, great. No big deal. Move on. But I'm just tired of it, dude. I'm tired. There's a couple of calls both ways that, we see players flopping around. Get it over, man. Grow up, dude. I'm sorry, it's Spurs in Focus, but grow a pair of balls. You're getting paid millions of dollars. You're getting paid way more than we are. You're getting paid more than the players from the past who actually played the game. Play the damn game right. I'm tired of all this stuff, dude.
Yeah, Rudy on that soapbox. Well, I agree. Yeah, and I like to see I guess for the most part, the refs did swallow the whistle a little bit too much, in my opinion. Hartenstein defending Wemby with the armbar all the time.
There's obvious calls to make, but then when there's not, then the obvious call is like, oh my God, he pushed him and look what happened. That's not the call. You're missing the actual calls. That's what my problem.
Exactly. All right. Well, let's get into some final stats here. Wemby had a good game, but it wasn't a duplication of game one. 21 points, 17 rebounds, 6 assists, plus 1 on the night in 37 minutes. Shot 50% from the field and made 3 of 7 3-pointers. Steph Castle, 25 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, but y'all know 9 turnovers. Those turnovers costed a lot. Minus 11 on the game. So there's that. And he did posterize Hartenstein, but pretty sure he would love to have that back and the Spurs win. Vassell quietly had a good game. 22 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist in 37 minutes. Made all his free throws, went to free throw line twice, 50% shooting from the field. Dylan Harper, excuse me, everybody, before he got hurt, 12 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists in 24 minutes. Mitch Johnson did address it. He said he does not know the extent of Harper's injury. He also went on to talk about Fox's injury, and if it's bigger than maybe what they're letting on, and he just said they're playing it by ear with Fox. So there's that. Julian Champagny, 8 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. Luke Cornett, 4 points, 2 rebounds. Keldon Johnson, 10 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist. Kudos to him. He kept the Spurs in the fight towards the offensive rebounds, getting and ones, getting rebounds, scoring, drawing fouls. He did a really good job. Just wasn't enough. And Jordan McLaughlin, he got in 6 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. I wanted him to be out there longer than 7 minutes that he was out there. You needed a steady hand, a guy who's not going to turn the ball over. He was right there, but they sat him. They only put him 7 minutes. Your thoughts?
Yeah, he was actually going to be one of my standout players, was Jordan McLaughlin. And I'll talk about him now. I mean, he's on the team for a reason. He's a point guard. You have your number 1 point guard out in De'Aaron Fox. You have Dylan Harper, who went out with an injury. Your number 2 point guard. What's the point in having a Jordan McLaughlin on the court if you can't give him more minutes? In that 7 minutes, I mean, he knocked down 2 threes. He was 2 or 3 from 3. He only had 1 turnover, but he played like he belonged. And that's the thing, is that this team was actually playing a little bit better. Now, don't give me the plus or minus. It was minus 10 for Jordan McLaughlin. But again, I always don't buy that a lot of times. So when McLaughlin was out there, he's your point guard. He's your true point guard. He'll open it up for everybody else. He'll take the ball out of Stephon Castle's hand so he doesn't have to be that point guard, that distributor, the guy to run the team. He can play off the ball. That way he plays a whole lot better. So I'm hoping, if Harper is out for game 3, I'm hoping that Jordan McLaughlin played well enough where Mitch is going to look his way and say, okay, you are my backup tonight. Give the kid some run, man. I mean, he was doing fantastic. I'm shocked that he wasn't there, for at least 10, 15 minutes.
I want him out there. Minimize turnovers. He's a veteran of the game. He's played alongside guys like Mike Conley.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Yeah, there's that. By the way, 1 turnover for him. He had 3 points in the opening quarter, 3 more points in the third period, and that's it. That's all he played for the entire game. So yeah, and in this situation, you ignore the plus minus because it's a very small sample size, so you ignore it. But I really thought it should be out there. And then just to round out the box score, everybody. See Harrison Barnes, he had 5 points and 3 rebounds. Team wise, well, the Spurs did out rebound the Thunder, as Rudy mentioned. The Spurs shot 49% from the field to the Thunder's 48%. Free throw line, Spurs 88%. Thunder 79%. 3-pointers, Spurs made 3 more than the Thunder, 16-13. But of course, we all know the story of the day. Turnovers, 21 turnovers for the Spurs, 27 points off those turnovers for the Thunder. And yeah, second chance points even went to the Spurs, 22-17.
Yeah.
So, there it is. All right, it's time to play the game with Rudy. He does not know what graphic I'm going to put up. Is it going to be standout stats, turning point, standout players? Let's find out.
I should take the easy one and make you sweat it out by taking turnover, but no, I won't. I'll never take the easy way out, Jeff. I never take the easy way out. For me, it's going to be steals, my standout stats tonight. OKC doubled up the Spurs on steals. They had 14 to San Antonio's 5. They came out as the aggressors on the defense side of the ball. And if not only that, I mean, they had 3 blocks on the night, but those steals were very, very key. A lot of them off of turnovers. So again, the turnover factor contributed to the steal factor. Saw some lazy passing by San Antonio, cross-court passes, stuff like this. Kind of stuff that you don't really normally see all the time from San Antonio, especially lately. But my biggest stat for sure was the steal battle with 14, San Antonio with 5. If you're going to get that many steals, that turns into fast break points. That turns into easy buckets. There's a difference right there. I mean, you're talking 14 steals. You probably got at least golly, man. There's got to be at least 18, around 18, but I mean, 10, 12 points right there. Difference in the game. That's kind of the numbers that we're looking at. So, yeah, for me, the standout side of steals. Come on, San Antonio, take care of the ball a little bit better than that, man.
Yeah, exactly. I kind of gave it away earlier, but I'm going to go with bench production again. 25-41, Thunder with the edge now. Do you say, well, because you lose Harper, you lose a production there. He was in a starting spot. Fox is out. So that kind of messes up the flow of the second unit. But nevertheless, you still got guys like Barnes, still got guys like Keldon. McLaughlin got out there. So a little bit more bench production. They always claim Thunder and the Spurs, 2 of the deepest teams in the NBA. Well, it was the Thunder that were the deeper team in game 2. All right, what is up next for Mr. Rudy Campos?
Yeah, turning point for me, easy. Fourth quarter with the turnovers by Stephon Castle. That's the turning point. Spurs fought, they clawed, they got their way into the game, then it was turnover. Fought, clawed their way back into the game, turnover at the end of the game. He threw a backdoor bounce pass to somebody. Maybe it was Tulo. I have no idea. But again, that's a moment right there where I'm going to just say that's a moment right there where I would even love to see Harrison Barnes bring the ball up. Just somebody that has been there before that can kind of stay cool, underpoised. Stephon Castle's head, it is million miles per hour, man. He's already thinking of the next play, and that is great. That's a huge, good basketball IQ to have. But again, when you're that far ahead of yourself, you forget to slow down in key moments. He was a little bit more excited, a little too excited. My turning point were those turnovers in the fourth quarter, because think about it. If they score there, even a 2-point basket, I think they're down 2 or 3 points right there. A lot could have happened right there. We've seen a lot of crazy stuff happen in past games. So turning point for me were those turnovers in the fourth quarter. You got to take care of the ball. Do I blame Coach Johnson on that? I've praised the entire coach staff all year. I'm going to come on them a little bit more. That might have been a situation where he could have subbed in somebody else to kind of control the ball like that at that moment.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. Turnovers were a huge turning point throughout the game. You really will be honest. For me, the turning point, I'll go to the fourth quarter now. With about 8 minutes and 24 seconds left on the game. The score was 97-99 Thunder with just a 2-point lead. Thunder went on a plus 11 run. Yeah, he went on a big run. At the end of that run, it was about 6 minutes and a half left in the game. 110-97. That's how much it exploded. That killed it for the Spurs. Now, credit to the Spurs. They did have another run after that run, but it was just too little too late. In that plus 11 run for the Thunder, they made 5 of 6 free throws. They were the aggressors. They were getting to the free throw line. They were putting the Spurs on the heels. They were making them foul, and it counted. So yeah, that was huge to me because again, it was still a fight. They were still in it until that Thunder run. So yeah, a big turning point for me was that fourth quarter won by OKC.
Well, I mentioned one of them earlier. Jordan McLaughlin came in for 7 minutes, scored 6 points, made a pretty good impression. I know as far as, Spurs fans out there and as far as the coaching staff out there, hoping to see a little bit more from him. If Dylan Harper or De'Aaron Fox are out for game 3, love to see Jordan McLaughlin get a whole lot more run. Another player that I'm going to circle here. It's going to be Keldon Johnson, man. Okay. I mean, Keldon Johnson with 10 points, 5 rebounds, all 5 rebounds offensively. Gave some fits to Chet, but also kind of saw a little bit of the lack of playoff experience in Keldon. Thunder were able to get into the basket, kind of take to him a little bit there. But what I loved from Keldon Johnson was the high energy. He kept playing with the high motor that he does have. He was able to just keep the Spurs in the game when he was able to play in the game and had a little bit of an impact in there. So Keldon Johnson is my standout player. As always, Jeff, I always give you the easy one. So again, I don't want you to work too hard.
I'm not going to pick Victor Wembanyama. I think that's
Are you going to pick Stephon Castle? Because that's pretty easy too.
I'm not. Those turnovers killed it for me. I can't. Those are unforgivable.
But there's only one other player, so I mean, it's probably Devin Vassell, I'm sure, right?
No, you strike out again. I'm going with Dylan Harper. Dylan Harper, before he got injured, I started thinking this. Sure, the Thunder in the series don't have an answer for Wemby, but why does it seem like the Thunder don't have an answer for Harper now?
Because they don't.
He cooks them every single time, and he gets to the rim with ease. Doesn't matter if it's SGA, Caruso, J. Will, Wallace. He gets to the rim, and he makes things happen every time he's on that court. 12 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists in 24 minutes before he got hurt. He was a +6 for the Spurs in that time period. He had 1 turnover in that run and 2 defensive rebounds for the game before he got hurt. And that's why I hope he's back. But I'm starting to think the Spurs, they have a guy with Harper that I don't think the Thunder can contend with. Your thoughts?
I don't disagree with you at all. I mean, there's a reason why I had him as a superstar coming in, from the NBA draft is because the kid is ready. He's been ready. Yeah. I mean, if you would have said Dylan Harper could have came into the NBA straight out of high school, I would have agreed 100% with you. He just had to go to Rutgers to play 1 year. That's what they have to do now. So Dylan Harper, he's becoming a player that's very difficult to guard. Why is that? Because he is a 99 rating using his left hand and a 99 rating using his right hand. The guy can get to the basket, makes it so tough. He's a more controlled Stephon Castle. That's the way you can play it. Where Stephon Castle is like the Tasmanian devil, Dylan Harper is just calm and cool and smooth when he gets to the basket. So he's getting to be a player that's going to be very difficult. And that's why I said, if you had either Fox or Harper playing tonight, a full game, the chances of San Antonio going up 2-0 are probably very likely. So with Harper going out, Castle being done, again, Spurs only lost by 9. Can I use your words, Jeff? OKC's cooked if they're only able to win by 9. I mean, being honest.
Yeah. Look, so many storylines, so many things to talk about in this game. Wish we could be here all night. But what do y'all think? Let Rudy know your thoughts on Game 2 loss at the Sports Answer. Let me know on X as well at Jeff G Spurs Zone. Give us a follow right now. By the way, give Spurs in Focus a follow on YouTube, iTunes, Pocket Cast, Amazon Podcasts, YouTube Music. Go check out the Substack. Completely free. Spurs in Focus Substack. Google it. Sign up right now. We're not going to end the show without talking with you guys now. It's your turn. Rudy's manning the comment section. Rudy, what do we got?
Got a ton of them, man. The one that just came in, it says if Jordan McLaughlin gets more minutes on the next game and scores 10 points, Spurs front obviously to give a check to Jeff and Rudy because they know ball.
No, Rudy doesn't know ball. I don't know if you know that, Tim.
Apparently, I don't know ball yet. I mean, we're not on Spurs in Focus for entertainment purposes. We're here to call it like it is. So I don't know what any other podcast does, but Texas Rican says, what up, what up? Shout out to him. He's always been a supporter of the fans here. Kimberly Vaughn, turnovers and second chance points for OKC. Clean the turnovers and we're golden. It's that simple. Turnovers was kind of the big factor tonight. Big dogs, I could have swore we wanted to try the Wemby Luka combo early in the season. What happened? Why didn't it happen tonight? Would this have been a game you might have used that combination, Jeff?
I think so. The way Hartenstein was just, getting those boards and everything, might as well.
Good point. I mean, I think you only gave Luke 11 minutes tonight. I mean, you probably should have done that if you were getting kind of killed on those second chance opportunities. Probably Luke Cornett, Victor Wembanyama would have worked.
Hey, speaking of bigs, I'm just curious. Why doesn't Chet want to check Wemby?
Scared?
Am I missing something here? I thought these are similar build kind of guys, similar skill set, similar. And I say mirrors, similar.
Well,
it's like he doesn't want the challenge. Like, man up.
Well,
man up.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, Chet Holmgren has always had difficulties battling Victor Wembanyama. Wemby kind of has his number. Chet plays scared, man. He really does when it comes to Victor, and you can easily tell he plays scared. I don't know why he is scared of Victor. It just comes down to he just doesn't have the talent that Victor does.
Simple as that.
I mean, there's really no other way to put it. Someone please talk to Castle about protecting the ball.
Oh, the Spurs, according to Mitch Johnson, have already.
They've already talked to him. Good evening, gents. Shout out to Silver Wolf Adventures.
Can we give him a round of applause?
Yeah, if you can cue it up there. I think there you go. Supporters here. OKC didn't really do much tonight. Spurs beat themselves more. That's the key. San Antonio, they beat themselves. If there's a game where they did, it was this one right here. Spurs are still in good situation. Tim Gonzalez saw 8 minutes in the fourth quarter. Again, Tex Rican's back in here 9 tonight, 11 game one. Way too many turnover wire. Spurs in 6. They're calling it still. Castle with turning the ball over. But a year of yours, KWAPT. I hate saying that because I don't know if I'm cussing or saying something about it.
You're not. I already told you. It stands for Kobe wears a purple, and I don't remember what the T stands for. Quap. Let us know what it means.
Yes. When I say quaps, I always think I'm going to say something different. So Adam Silver brought in Tony Brothers. I saw that earlier. Now, I'm going to tell you, I saw the Tony Brothers thing. I thought, okay, it's probably going to be an OKC win. Do you know? Let me see if you can figure out. Do you know when I knew the Spurs were going to lose, Jeff?
Wow.
Do you know when I knew it was going to happen?
Well, when did you know?
When they wore their white jerseys.
Well, didn't they wear them again? No, they wore their icon. They
wore their icon jerseys.
Yeah.
When I saw them when their white jerseys tonight, I said, doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel good. Do me a favor, guys. Wear your damn Fiesta jerseys, the white Fiesta jerseys from a couple of years back, rather than just the plain association white jerseys. I just didn't have a good feeling about that.
Well, Rudy, would it make you feel better that game 3 they're wearing their black icon jerseys?
Oh God, that's game 3 win. Chalk it up for San Antonio. It's a guarantee.
Okay, but wait. On Sunday, game 4, they're wearing their white association.
2-2. 2-2 series. We're going back to OKC 2-2. Jeff, did you see the SGA body language? I see the Spurs defense giving him a hard time. That's a great point, man. SGA had 30 points, but again, he does not like playing San Antonio because they can play defense on him. That's the thing, is that they can lock down SGA if they really wanted to. They were complacent. They were like, okay, we got one win. No big deal. No big deal. Harper and Fox play. SGA probably ends up with 24 tonight. There's no doubt about that. More comments, man. KC isn't that much better than the Spurs. Something that I've been trying to get Jeff to buy into. He doesn't believe.
I've kind of bought into it. But
are you seeing?
I'm seeing it more now. Okay. I'm seeing it more now.
Now you're seeing why I said this team is kind of a they're not
overhyped as you.
Yes. For the record, I don't want Fox to be traded because of Castle. I was willing to part ways with Fox because we have Harper. Don't want to get rid of Fox or Harper, obviously, because you want Steph Castle to still be aggressive and you don't want the ball in his hand. Man, longtime guy, Wesley Perkins in here.
Yes, Wesley Perkins.
Give him a long time.
This year.
Any word on Harper? No word yet. I did see a video where Harper was walking around okay, so may not be as bad as we think. We're leaving precautionary. Peter Aguilar here, right? And they were there right to the end. Can't ask for better.
Yep.
Shout out to Jacob Eric reading the market. We should be all right. Fox gets back. Seeing Castle out there with his top defense reminds me of when Jeremy ran the point. Yeah, God bless. That's a good point, dude. It's similar to when Jeremy ran the point because Jeremy would turn the damn ball over and he wasn't a true point guard. Something that we kind of hit on too. Wesley back in here. Then we got man with no
name.
Yeah, no name. Games rigged. Hardenstein fouls all game and doesn't get called. Apparently, Hardenstein can pull the hair and not get any type of call.
And armbar Wemby every time he plays defense on him.
No, NOT Paradise. Mitch has got to say something. Mitch did say something. So Jeff has verified that Mitch Johnson did talk to Stephon Castle.
Yeah.
Victor did say that it was a collective group on the turnovers position tonight. They know, again, remember, Jeff, I told you.
Well, Victor brought it up because he said they should have been better at protecting the ball handlers. Like, like preserving the ball as well themselves. So
I think something like that as a coach, you probably want to have a big or somebody in the backcourt setting the screen. That way you can kind of free them up a little bit, get into the front court. What was that thing? Mitch got to say something. Oh, here it is. So you mentioned about Wemby.
Yeah.
And we got a bunch of other comments, pretty much all of them on turnovers. That's what we didn't get to a whole lot there, but there was a bunch of them on turnovers. You mentioned about Wemby. One thing that you and I have focused on a whole lot through this season, and one thing that I brought up to you a lot, is that when the Spurs lose, no matter if it's by 30 points or by 3 points, when they lose, they don't get rattled. They go back to the drawing board. They know what they did. They've already admitted that, okay, we didn't protect the ball as well as we're supposed to. Now, they also understand we didn't have a true point guard out there. McLaughlin is, but he didn't get a whole lot of run.
Yeah.
I guarantee you they're going to come out next game, better game plan, still calm and cool, because they've done that all season long. Do you think it's going to still continue, or do you still think that maybe they're going to be a little rattled after this game?
I don't think they're going to be rattled. What I'm more worried about, and I brought it up earlier, is that I hope they're not already gassed because it's every other day now. Now, guess what? They have to travel now to San Antonio.
Yeah.
So they're probably going to leave tonight. They're probably gone already. So they got to travel and they're going to come in late. They're going to hit their heads on their bed. I don't think Mitch Johnson's going to have them practice tomorrow. I would hope not. But you still got to do a shoot around. It's just these quick turnovers. I want to see which team has the bigger fuel tank at this point. I think it could come down to that. But I think the Spurs will be okay. I take solace in knowing that the Spurs have not lost back-to-back in the playoffs. So if you're going to go by history, they should get a W in G3 and then lose game 4 because they're wearing the white jerseys, according to Rudy. So.
I love this guy here, Carlos Conchila. I love that name there. I love how the NBA basically showed a Hardenstein highlight package of him fouling Wemby. Not sure what kind of defense was that. Hardenstein
it's called the armbar defense. Ronda Rousey just armbarring everybody.
Let me throw a concern here before we go here. You mentioned about, every other day. So 36, 37, 38, 38, not including Harper. Those are the minutes that the starters played for San Antonio tonight. The least amount was 36 minutes for Julian Champagny. This is for the Thunder, 27, 27, 38, 16. And again, we're not mentioning Jalen Williams, who had 7 minutes. But Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was the only one with 30-plus minutes tonight. Hardenstein, Chet Holmgren, 27 minutes. Lou Dort, 16 minutes. The bench played majority, 25, 26 minutes at the most. OKC was able to extend their roster and their depth a lot more than San Antonio. Could that be more concerning headed into game 3? Because, again, you have a gassed Oklahoma City and a gassed San Antonio from game 1. Now you have a gassed San Antonio Spurs team after game 2, where OKC let their bench play majority of the game. That could be a concern for me going into game 3.
Let's not forget, too, who had the longer period of time off between series.
That'd be OKC.
Thunder did, not the Spurs.
Yeah.
The Spurs, when he went to 6 games versus Minnesota, Thunder swept the Lakers. So don't know if that's a factor. Somebody keep it out. Just somebody keep an eye out, everybody. All right. Well, any other comments before we put a bow on this?
We're good, man. We are good. Everybody, all the comments. We got a ton of them, but again, a lot of them were turnovers and stuff that we talked about. So shout out to everybody that left comments. Right?
Yeah, round of applause to everybody for joining us on the live comments there. Right?
And we do put them on the screen, so we don't read them actually out there. I do show every comment on the screen, so you do get some love no matter what.
Exactly. All right. Well, we're done talking. We want to hear from you. What do you think about the game 2 loss? Spurs, Thunder, now tied 1-1 apiece going to game 3. We need to know what y'all think. Let Rudy know on X at the Sports Answer. Let me know on X at Jeff G Spurs Zone. The answer is probably going to be busy now, aren't you guys?
Pretty much, man. We've got our Friday drive show. It's myself and Derek Gervin. You can catch it on Answer Now TV every single Friday. We've got a nice little show coming up this weekend. Not only that, we have other shows that we're in the works of launching with other people. And because we've got over 400 people in this stream right now, Jeff, we're beating the hell out of everybody else out there that's doing podcasting right now, and we're going to continue it here. I'm putting it out there. So the Sports Answer is looking for intern type people.
Oh,
And
there you go. Listen up.
what does that
everybody.
what does that mean? That means that if you ever wanted to jump on a podcast, you ever wanted to do some possible sideline work, you ever wanted to just get your feet wet in kind of sports media, contact me. Why? Because you'll be working alongside myself, Derek Gervin, great producer Shemaya Reed. You'll also maybe have the opportunity to work with the guy next to me, Jeff Garcia, who's also a part of the Answer Now TV family or at Sports Answer. So if you guys are interested, shoot me a DM. We'll talk a little bit. It's not a paying gig, obviously, because I don't get paid. Nobody gets paid when we're doing this. But again, it's good for people that want to get into sports media. You get to rub elbows with a lot of people as well. So yeah, putting it out there. We're looking at a bunch more shows, man.
There you go. Go sign up right now. Or better yet, just follow Rudy on X, DM him at the Sports Answer. You want to do that ASAP, take advantage of that opportunity, everybody. Tell you, Rudy will help guide you. He will, and the rest of the crew there. So join that crew ASAP. I urge you to do that. We will be back tomorrow. I think we have Mr. Espinosa from the Sports Rush out in Corpus Christi. He's on deck. We're going to be previewing Game 3 in San Antonio. Adjustments, dive deeper in what we were seeing through 2 games of this series, Spurs Thunder. Again, Spurs lose Game 2 out at OKC, 122-113, but still home court advantage, and you're going back home. So there's that, everybody. So also, don't forget to subscribe to Spurs In Focus on YouTube Music, Pocket Cast, Amazon Podcast, Spotify, iTunes, so many places you can get it. Also, subscribe to Spurs In Focus on the Substack. It is completely free. We have daily content there. We can get some freebies. And when Spurs wins, if you're in San Antonio, just what is going around right now in Spurs news world, stuff they're still doing out in the community. So there's a lot to digest over at Spurs In Focus. Go give us a subscription ASAP. And again, it is completely free. And by the way, me and Rudy, we thank you for making Spurs In Focus your first and only spot for all things San Antonio Spurs. Don't go anywhere else. Stay right here. Ignore the rest. Unsubscribe to them. Just subscribe here to Spurs In Focus, and you'll be gold. You'll be gold. And again, we'll be back tomorrow with a brand new episode previewing Game 3. So for Mr. Rudy Campos, I am Jeff Garcia. Now you're in focus with Spurs In Focus.